Welcome, everyone. Good morning to all of you gathered here in the sanctuary and to all of you who are gathered online today. We begin our morning this morning with a musical offering from the UU Seville Choir.
This is it is an anthem, but it is also a preview of what we're going to be doing in the Singing Resistance, which everybody is invited to. You don't have to know how to sing. You don't have to know how to do anything. We'll teach you everything. It's designed to help people learn what to sing at public events that may be coming up, like May Day, for example. So this is a tune by Mark Miller called We Resist.
How beautiful was that? That was a wonderful welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Charlottesville. My name is Angela Orbaugh. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm grateful to be leading worship this morning with Kim Grover, Ellie Severud from the UU Seville Ministry for Earth, music director Scott DeVoe, pianist John Mayhood, and as you just heard, our amazing UU Seville Choir. Whoever you are and wherever you have come from, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Charlottesville welcomes you. We are delighted you have joined us this morning and are grateful to all who have made this moment of our gathering possible. I now invite us to greet others. Those online, you may unmute, and those here in the sanctuary or the social hall, you are welcome to greet your neighbors, especially those you may not know. We offer a special welcome to newcomers, and we invite you to join us after the service in the social hall. And please use one of our red coffee mugs, which are for newcomers to UUCville, and everyone else, keep an eye out for those red coffee mugs. Now, there is a live stream of the service right now in the social hall. Everyone is welcome here in the sanctuary, but those needing a roomier space, the social hall is also a great option. Those on Zoom, you are invited to stay online after the service, and you'll be able to unmute and have some wonderful discussions at that time. Many thanks to all of the people that make Sunday morning services possible, and believe me, sometimes it definitely takes a village. We have our greeters, ushers, hospitality, our altar decorating teams, our wonderful religious education leaders and volunteers, and our AV team led this morning by Nash Ford, who is now inviting us to call them Sunny. Thank you, Sunny. Now we have greetings from board member Ashley Cooley.
Hello, I'm Ashley Cooley. Welcome from the board at UU. It's good to see all of you. I want to highlight two things that are going on at UU currently. The first is with the Mosaic Squad at UU, whose focus is on anti-authoritarian and the preservation of democracy. I mentioned it earlier, on May 1st, called May Day, they're having a community action, which is meant to demonstrate like how a general strike can be a tool against authoritarianism. So how we can kind of harness our collective economic power. Again, that's May 1st. It's not a protest, it's a community day, so they'll have activities from 12 to 5, some downtown and some at Washington Park. And to the extent that you can, they invite you to do no work, no school, and no shopping to, again, harness that economic power that we all have together. And second, I want to encourage you to donate to BRAF. That's our social action collection this month. As far as I know, it's the only month that we focus on reproductive freedoms and access to health care. So if you've ever wanted to donate in that area, this is the month to do it. Most of the southern state, or all of the southern states except for Virginia, have banned abortion, and so that makes Virginia an access point for the Southeast. So BRAF has more traffic here than it used to and helps a lot of out-of-state women as well. For in-state women, abortion can be too expensive to get. Medicaid doesn't cover it, and it's an immediate and out-of-pocket medical cost. So that's what your funds go to fund and to help. So please donate if you can. Thanks.
Thank you, Ashley. Next up is this morning's announcements. Definitely join us today for a sustainable potluck in the social hall following our service. All are welcome to enjoy lunch, even if you are not able to bring anything today. Also, be sure to stop by the UUCville Native Plant Seed Library, led by Walter Hoffman. We are giving away seed packets cultivated from our native plant garden, and if you need tips about planting your seeds, Walter will be there to assist you. That is exciting. Someone saved some for me. Are you between the ages of 18 and 35? Please join the UUCville Young Adult Group in Lower Hall 3 at 12:30. So grab some food from the potluck, join us for community, conversation, and rock painting. If you are new to UUCville and you would like to learn more about us, join Reverend Tim and several lay leaders for our monthly newcomer circle. This will take place here in the sanctuary at 12:30. Once again, get some yummy food from the sustainable potluck and join us here in the sanctuary. Also today, the Building and Grounds Planning Team invite you to join the conversation as we develop a comprehensive plan to improve our buildings and grounds. You can join the team today at 12:15, you'll have to walk with your food, by the Edgewood Lane entrance for a guided walkthrough of the buildings. You can learn more about our space, and you can share your own insights and ideas. There will be a training on how to use the messaging app Signal today at 12:30. This is in Lower Hall 2. Today at 2 o'clock. There's a lot going on today. Right here in the sanctuary, so you get a little bit of a break. 2 o'clock, you're going to want to come back because you are welcome to join a gathering of the Voices Rising Justice Choir, led by our own Scott DeVoe. And childcare is provided, and all singing abilities are welcome. Plan to attend a workshop with Greg Townsend next Sunday after church here at UUCville. This session is microaggressions. It's not just everyday rudeness. All are welcome. After this one? Okay. I have one more announcement, then Reverend Leah has one. Today, second social hour is being held in Lower Hall 1, not the playground. I think that's everything until Reverend Leah.
And one important announcement that got left out is today is a food sharing Sunday. So thank you to everybody who brought in food to share. And if you would like to take some food home, anybody who wants to is welcome to. Food is available in the parlor. There are bags. You can take home whatever you need to replenish your own food needs at home. And also, if you will see Reverend Tim, he has some grocery store food cards, gift cards for anybody whose budget's tight and you need a little support from the congregation. Thank you.
That was certainly an important announcement. I'm glad we did not miss that. It is a very full calendar here today. Please join us for coffee and conversation and the potluck following the service in the social hall. Today, for our call to worship, we have some words from Gary Kowalski. We gather here to worship, to seek the truth, to grow in love, to join in service, to celebrate life's beauty and find healing for its pain, to honor our kinship with each other and with the earth, to create a more compassionate world, beginning with ourselves, to wonder at the mystery that gave us birth, to find courage for the journey's end, and to listen for the wisdom that guides us in the quietness of this moment. I now invite the one and only Ellie Severud to light our flaming chalice. Will you please join us in saying our chalice lighting words? We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Now you can also join me in doing the hand motion. One hand is the matchbook, finger is the match. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the Church of Open Minds. This is the Church of Helping Hands. This is the Church of Loving Hearts. We're going to have our opening hymn first, number 175. Please rise in body or spirit.
Every living thing, a fragment of the perfect whole, into wisdom and soil, as much and tiny barnacle
I would like to invite everybody young and young at heart to join us up front here. So this week, we're celebrating Earth Day. And part of what we want to talk about this morning is about food and how we gather around food, the community, how that brings people together. If you think about some of your favorite meals, what are you eating? Anybody?
Eating corn on the cob.
Sorry, corn on the cob.
Or arroz con frijoles.
Or
Arroz con frijoles.
arroz, oh, okay, rice with
Rice and beans.
rice and beans, thank you.
Rice and beans.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else? Spaghetti. Yeah, that was special. Do you do that often? Yeah. Yes?
Repeat, Kim. Repeat.
I'm actually, I can't hear what some of the people are saying.
Say again, spaghetti and meatballs with your grandmother.
Spaghetti and meatballs with my mother. Yes. Yes. Lasagna with your grandmother. Yeah. Susie?
Sometimes with
French fries for dinner. Meatballs from IKEA. Yeah. So good. So sometimes when we think about food, we think about the people that we're with when we have that food, yeah? And it brings us, feels good to think about the people that we love, yeah? Okay, well, I have a story to read. It is called Thank You, Amu. And it's by Oge Mora. And there's a note to the reader here that says Amu, which is pronounced Amu, is the Igbo term for queen. On the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Amu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste. "What a delicious stew," Amu said. "Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I have ever had." I'm switching. This is how I practiced it. With that, Amu put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block, until a knock came at the door. When Amu opened it, she saw a little boy. "A little boy," Amu exclaimed. "What brings you to my home?" "I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell," the little boy replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." Stew," he sighed. "That sure sounds yummy." I need your help with the knocks. Amu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. "Would you like some?" The little boy nodded. And so Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the little boy said, and went on his way. With that, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. As she read her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until someone was at the door. When Amu opened the door this time, she saw a police officer. "Miss Police Officer," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?" "I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell," Miss Police Officer replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ah, stew," she said, and her mouth watered. "That sounds mighty tasty." Amu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. "Would you like some?" The police officer nodded. Once again, Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the officer said, and went on her way. And so for the second time, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until again, someone was at Amu's door. This time, she opened it. When she opened it, she saw a hot dog vendor. "Mr. Hot Dog Vendor," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?" "I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell," Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." Stew." The vendor licked his lips. "That sounds quite delectable." So Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the hot dog vendor said, and went on his way. Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on Amu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by. And each time they knocked, Amu shared. Soon the sky darkened, the streetlights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Amu opened her big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, it was empty. Amu sniffled. "There goes the best dinner I ever had." Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until who could that be? Amu wondered. When she opened her door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. "I'm sorry, everyone," Amu sighed. "My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share." The little boy tugged at Amu's sleeve. "Don't worry, Amu. We are not here to ask. We are here to give." The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Amu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on Amu's door that day squeezed inside her tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated. While Amu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best she had ever had. What does the card say? What does the card say? Thank you, Amu. Thank you. Singing everybody out, yeah? Okay, let's sing everyone out to religious ed classes.
I really hope that there is stew at the potluck when we are done. My stomach is certainly growling. We are an interconnected community that cares for one another. Part of how we embody this care is by making time each week to share the joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts. I will now share the joys and sorrows submitted this week. In honor of all of our joys and sorrows, both spoken and unspoken, you are invited to come forward and place a glass stone in the communal bowl of water. Everyone is welcome to participate. Those online, you are invited to share your joys and sorrows in the chat window. Cindy Benton Groner from the pastoral care team will come forward to help hold the space. Cindy will be available for a few minutes after the service in the back corner of the sanctuary if you are in need of support or just want someone to listen. Those online, you can contact the pastoral care team at pastoral@uucharlottesville.org. Let us begin. this community offers its love and support to what is closest to our hearts. Another way that we show our care for one another is in the sharing of our financial gifts with our community and our congregation. Our social action collection for the month of April is for the Blue Ridge Abortion Fund. Sunny, can you please show us that slide for the social action for giving for anyone who would like to financially support the Blue Ridge Abortion Fund? In addition to giving online, if you would like to give today with cash or check, please use the social action collection envelopes here in the sanctuary and place your offering in the collection plate. Please make sure to make your checks out to the UU Congregation of Charlottesville and write Social Action Collection in the memo line. Now, along with our social action collection, we invite everyone to financially support the ministries and mission of this community. Through your pledges and the weekly Sunday morning offering together, our financial gifts support UUCville and enable us to put love into action. This is our shared ministry. Let us now dedicate all of the many gifts we share with one another by saying, "We accept your gifts with gratitude. May we use them wisely for the highest good."
The reading today is To the Fig Tree on 9th and Christian by Ross Gay. I think I have a picture of Ross Gay. I wanted to share that with you because there's a reference to his height in here. And he's truly one of my favorite poets, so I'm really excited to get to read this. And there may not be a picture. Okay. Tumbling through the city in my mind without once looking up, the racket and the lugwork, probably rehearsing some stupid thing I said or did, some crime or other. The city, they say, is a lonely place, until yes, the sound of sweeping and a woman, yes, with a broom, beneath which you are now to the canopy of a fig, its arms pulling the September sun to it. She has a hose, too, and so works hard rinsing and scrubbing the walk, lest some poor sod slip on the silk of a fig and break his hip, and not, probably, reach over to gobble up the perpetrator. The light catches the veins in her hands when I ask about the tree. They flutter in the air, and she says, "Take as much as you can. Help me." So I load my pockets and mouth, and she points to the stepladder against the wall to mean more, but I was without a sack, so my meager plunder would have to suffice. And an old woman whom gravity was pulling into the earth loosed one from a low-slung branch, and its eye wept like hers, which she dabbed with a kerchief as she cleaved the fig with what remained of her teeth, and soon there were 8 or 9 people gathered beneath the tree, looking into it like a constellation, pointing. Do you see it? And I am tall, so good for these things, and a bald man even told me so when I grabbed 3 or 4 for him, reaching into the giddy throngs of yellow jackets, sugar-stoned, which he only pointed to, smiling and rubbing his stomach. I mean, he was really rubbing his stomach like there was a baby in there. It was hot, his head shone while he offered recipes to the group using words which I couldn't understand. And besides, I was a little tipsy on the dance of the velvety heart rolling in my mouth, pulling me down and down into the oldest countries of my body, where I ate my first fig from the hand of a man who escaped his country by swimming through the night. And maybe never said more than 5 words to me at once, but gave me figs. And a man on his way to work hops twice to reach at last his fig, which he smiles at and calls baby. Come here, baby, he says, and blows a kiss to the tree, which everyone knows cannot grow this far north, being Mediterranean and favoring the rocky, sun-baked soils of Jordan and Sicily. But no one told the fig tree or the immigrants. There is a way the fig tree grows in groves. It wants, it seems, to hold us. Yes, I am anthropomorphizing, damn it. I have twice in the last 30 seconds rubbed my sweaty forearm into someone else's sweaty shoulder, gleeful, eating out of each other's hands on Christian Street in Philadelphia. A city like most, which has murdered its own people, this is true. We are feeding each other from a tree at the corner of Christian and 9th. Strangers, maybe never again.
I would now like to invite our choir back up front for a choral anthem.
Today, we begin our celebration of Earth Day with a special focus on food. Food is rarely just the way we stave off hunger, that which nourishes and sustains us. Food is growing, tending, harvesting, and preparing. It's bonding and comfort and community. Regardless of our culture or heritage, food and feasts are at the center of many rituals, rites of passage, and celebrations. We gather together to eat during worldwide holidays like Christmas dinner, the Passover Seder, Eid al-Fitr. We eat together for national holidays like picnics for Memorial Day, the 4th of July, Labor Day. Thanksgiving is a whole day that for many of us is rooted in food, family, and our gratitude for those things. Even personal milestones like birthdays, weddings, graduations, retirements, we gather around food to celebrate. What we put on our table for those we love is important to us. We look forward to the food and to the gathering together to eat. It is indeed emotional and spiritual. So the gathering around food doesn't just give our bodies fuel, it feeds our need for connection and ritual. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Imagine your favorite meal. Is it Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner with the people you're closest to? Is it the homemade bouillabaisse and crusty bread your friends made to enjoy with other friends around their table? Is it a summer picnic with grilled meats and veggies, potato salad, and watermelon? Is it the cheesecake someone you love makes for your birthday? What's on your table? Who is with you? Now think about how the food gets to you. Once upon a time in a not so distant past, we grew our own food or personally knew the people who did. We understood the role of weather in growing crops, the importance of seasons, of rain, of sunshine. We understood drought and disease. We knew how to preserve food so we could survive the winter months. It is okay to open your eyes up again. I love that you follow directions so well. Now, that knowledge is collective. We depend on producers to bring us safe, healthy food. We depend on the Food and Drug Administration to oversee its safety. The growing, raising, and getting to market lies in the minds and hands of others. We have a distance from the raising of food like few generations before us. For many of us, food is plentiful year-round. Of course, when I say many of us, I mean not nearly enough of us, but many here can relate. We can purchase the same fresh fruit and vegetables, grains, meat, and cheese with a trip to the grocery store any time of the year. But how does that food get to us? How many miles does it travel? What impact does it have on the place where it is grown or raised? What impact does it have on the people who raise and harvest it? Our new, larger community of growers, producers, and deliverers is more difficult to know and care for. And let's be real, many of us don't have the time or resources or either to better understand those who bring us our food and the toil they undertake to bring it to us, to know how our food is treated before we eat it. What goes in the soil? What are the animals fed? We have our own toils, and it's all we can do to get food on the table, much less be thoughtful about how it got there. But there is a community of people who bring us our food, and they deserve our respect and care and understanding of the jobs they do. They deserve our questions about the process. We deserve to ask them. So what if we could, just one night a month or one night a week, serve food that has a story we're familiar with? This was raised by a farmer in Louisa. I visited a farm in Albemarle and picked these vegetables. A neighbor raises chickens and I get my eggs from her. How would that inform what we choose to eat the other days of the month or week? Could we improve our own health while helping others and the environment? Could we expand our tradition of connection to each other while we gather and eat to include the people who produce the food that we gather around? Here's what I want. I want to purchase my food from people who love growing it. I want those people to feel cherished and compensated for the important work that they do. And if they are growing mangoes in particular, I want to send them love letters. So to borrow this theme from our UU core value, I want food that is grown, delivered, prepared, and eaten with love at the center. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Have you ever tasted a raisin? And I mean really tasted a raisin? Dr. John Kabat-Zinn created the raisin meditation. How many people have done that and you are familiar with that? Then you have really tasted a raisin. It's part of the mindfulness-based stress reduction exercise, and it uses a single raisin to train awareness. By fully engaging our senses, it teaches us how to bring conscious attention to everyday actions and to break the mindless autopilot habits that many of us have. In the exercise, you start by holding this raisin in your hand, and you take a very detailed look at it, all the nooks and crannies, the textures, the shape. You can even squeeze it and listen to it. You even smell it. Then you can take that raisin, you can place it in your mouth, but you don't chew it yet. You get to roll it around. Once again, you pay attention to the texture and the shape before chewing. Finally, you get to chew that raisin. But while you do so, you chew slowly, and you pay attention to flavor, texture, even sound. Once you swallow the raisin, you still focus on the lingering taste and sensations. Now, I did this exercise for the first time about 20 years ago, and I have not looked at a raisin the same ever since. While this exercise is designed to bring us into the present moment, it also is a powerful example of mindful eating. Mindful eating can be practiced with any food, so if you don't like raisins, you can practice it with other foods. We engage our senses, we bring awareness, and we cultivate gratitude. When we give our full attention to the act of eating by slowing down, removing distractions, listening to our bodies, we begin to change our relationship with food. In mindful eating, it offers a kind of spiritual grounding, and it can become a ritual, it can become a spiritual practice. This is because eating is one of the most intimate relationships we have with the world. The earth literally becomes us. Mindful eating and gratitude are deeply connected. When we slow down enough to truly experience our food, gratitude naturally arises. And many traditions include a pause before eating. For 53 years of my life, my Lutheran grandfather said the same blessing at every meal. It was, "Our Father in heaven, we thank you for the food sanctified to us. Pardon our sins, save us for Christ's sake. Amen." It was steady, it was familiar, it was grounding. It marked the moment before we ate, when we paused. However, it was centered on God, sin, and salvation. It didn't name the earth, the people, the journey of the food itself. Now, this isn't a criticism, it just reflects a particular theological lens. But as my own understanding of spirituality evolved, especially through a Unitarian Universalist perspective, my awareness began to widen. So one of my graces that I've written and share is this: let us give thanks for this food we are privileged to receive in a world where many are hungry. May we be aware of the sun, the water, the land, and the souls that brought this food to our plate. Let us resist waste and reduce our impact on the earth as she struggles to nourish us and replenish herself. May it be so. Now, that grace is included in the words of thanks books that were so thoughtfully put together by our congregation. When we practice mindful eating and gratitude, we will consume differently. When we change our relationship with food, we begin to change our relationship with the planet. Mindful eating can lead to less consumption and less waste. Gratitude can lead to more ethical choices. Presence can lead to a deeper connection with the earth itself. What if just once today we chose to eat with full attention, to taste, to notice, maybe to even listen, and to give thanks? That seemingly small action could change the world. So may we remember that every meal is an opportunity, not just to nourish our bodies, but to reconnect with the earth and with the sacredness of being alive. May we eat with awareness and gratitude for the seen and the unseen hands, with compassion for all beings, and with a commitment to nourish not just ourselves, but the whole web of life. Our presence at the plate benefits the planet. Thank you.
So we've been talking about food with community and food with mindfulness, and I'm going to talk about food and sustainability with my glasses on. Okay. So, did you know that the global food system is responsible for 25 to 30% of human-caused greenhouse gas emissions? That is a lot. What can we do about it in our own lives, in our everyday, just in our small part of the world? Well, here's some things you can do. We can reduce food waste. We can freeze leftovers, and then, of course, we have to remember to eat them before they go bad. We can compost in our own backyards, or if you live someplace where you don't have a backyard, there's a company locally called Black Bear Composting that you can compost small amounts, and you will be helping the earth. And we can buy those funny-looking, odd fruits and vegetables at the grocery store that otherwise would be thrown out because nobody wants to buy them. And I think there's an online group that you can buy fruits and vegetables like that too that are odd-shaped. We can eat healthier meals. We can fill our plates mostly with vegetables, fruits, whole grains and legumes, and less meat, red meat, and dairy products. We can swap out animal products. If a complete vegetarian diet or vegan diet is too difficult for whatever reason for you and your family, you can start by having several vegetarian meals each week. You know, Meatless Monday, you've probably all heard of that. And maybe Taco Tuesday without meat. And then swapping out traditional dairy and red meat for plant-based options. Another thing you can do is shop locally and seasonally. So buying seasonal foods lowers the demand for high-energy production methods and reduces transportation emissions. Instead of getting blueberries, which are out of season, and they have to bring them all the way from South America, that's adding to the carbon load of our, of our air. So not only is it good for the environment, but your food will taste better. Charlottesville has a wealth of options for eating locally and seasonally, and you can find local organic products at several of our grocery stores. There's more and more options these days than there used to be. And another great option is to shop at farmers markets. There are at least a half a dozen farmers markets operating in the Charlottesville area. There's bound to be one near where you live, even if you're not in Charlottesville, if you're further out. As a matter of fact, the Ministry for the Earth Committee is bringing a pop-up farmers market to our church. Hopefully you've all heard about this because we've had it in the newsletter. After the service, what? Oh, it's up there. Oh, good. After the service next Sunday, and then 2 weeks later on May 10th, the Morven Kitchen Garden, which is a collaboration between Morven Farm and the UVA students, will be selling their locally grown produce outside of our social hall in front of the Summit Hall. It's where students learn how to grow vegetables and other earth things. In case you're not, one of the garden's ongoing products is a CSA that mainly serves students and faculty, but is open to anyone in the community. And you will be able to learn about it and sign up for it at the farmers market next week. In case anybody doesn't know what a CSA is, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture, it refers to a form of agricultural production where consumers purchase a share of the farm's produce in advance. You pay for it once at the beginning of the season, and then it's distributed once the harvesting has begun. Members receive weekly boxes of fresh, local, and often organic produce throughout the growing season. There are several CSAs operating already through the Seville area, and the Kitchen Garden does one, and they use the UVA grounds for their distribution, since it's mostly the students and faculty. We've offered our church as a distribution site for an additional, if they need a second distribution site. And that's one of the reasons they're coming in the next couple of weeks, is to gauge the interest, not just from our community, not just from our church, but from the whole local community. So we've been putting out flyers and going to put on social media and try and bring everybody in the community here to see if there's enough interest for another CSA site. So we hope that you will come next week with your reusable bags to buy tasty produce and learn all about the Kitchen Garden. There are many options to help us eat and save the planet at the same time, and we hope that at least one of them will fit into your lifestyle. And to help you get you started, the Piedmont Environmental Council produces this really nice guide called Buy Fresh, Buy Local. And it's filled with all the local farms and farmers markets and different kinds of ideas about produce. And we have a bunch of them. They're free, and we picked up a bunch of them from their office, and they're going to be in the social hall for you to pick up and take home. It's also online if you don't want to take the paper, which I understand. So we hope you'll take it and use it and get something from all the things we've told you today. So we heard from Kim, who talked about community and food, and Angela, who talked about mindfulness and food, and my little talk about sustainability and food. So we hope we have given you some food for thought. The end.
Thank you so much, Ellie. You are always such a wealth of information. So please join me in singing a UU favorite, 1064 Blue Boat Home. Please rise and body or spirit. I need to have Walter lead Blue Boat Home more often. That was very, very enjoyable. Thank you very much. I want Ellie and Kim to join me. Ellie's going to help extinguish the chalice, and all three of us will be given this benediction by Becca Reynolds. May love permeate your every heartbeat. May faith guide your every step. May truth and compassion be your eternal traveling companions. And may a deep, abiding spirit rest joyously in your every waking wish and your every resting dream. Please join us for food in the social hall and seeds from Walter. Thank you.